Chapter 1. Terrified, Judy and I huddled together on the hospital cot. One after another bombs fell. Each time one exploded, the room shook. Plaster chunks fell from the ceiling. When the noise grew too painful to endure, I stuffed my ears with toilet tissue. It wasn't much help. Convinced the next explosion would be right on top of us, I slid to my knees, clasped my hands, and prayed. Judy leaned close to me and shouted, "Now you pray? Isn't going to church what got you into this mess in the first place?" Detroit, Michigan, 1927. My name is Kaleigh Josephine McKenna, and this story began one day when I was 6 years old. I sat between my mother and grandmother in the pew of the Harmony Baptist Church and sang at the top of my voice. I loved the music, but church in general bored me. By the end of August that year, summer vacation bored me. Life in general bored me. When the service finally ended and the church members filed out, my mom kept a tight grip on my hand to keep me from running down the aisle in my hurry to get out of there. This particular Sunday, as always, she stopped at the doorway for the usual handshake with the pastor and his wife, and something happened. Sister Evans, a slim, sweet-faced woman who wore her light brown hair pinned in a bun at the back of her neck, smiled down at me. "You know," she said, "I don't think I've ever heard a child so young with such a beautiful voice." "She's certainly loud," Mom said. "I try to shush her." "Don't shush her. I think her singing is wonderful. If we had a children's choir, she'd be the lead soloist." That idea certainly appealed to me. "Why don't we have a children's choir?" I asked. Mom's face turned red. "I'm sorry. She's not only loud, she's very outspoken." "As long as she speaks the truth," Sister Evans said. "I think there's nothing wrong with that. Maybe I should talk to some of the other mothers and see if we can get a group together." The next Sunday, the pastor announced that a children's choir would be forming, with rehearsals before the Wednesday night prayer meeting. I knew I would be the star. I counted the days. When my family left early for the Wednesday night service, I wore my best dress, and Mom tied a new ribbon in my hair. We were early, but Sister Evans had already opened the church doors. "We can practice a little until the others arrive," Sister Evans suggested. She sat at the piano. "What would you like to sing?" she asked. Blessed Assurance?" "All right." Sister Evans looked up the song in the hymnal. "Page 38. She played the introduction, and I belted out the lyrics. We went through the whole song, all 5 verses, and there were still no other children who'd come to join the choir. "Let's do another one," Sister Evans said. "This time, I'd like you to sing softly and tenderly." "I'm not sure Kaleigh can sing anything softly or tenderly," Mom said. "I'm sure she can," Sister Evans said. She took my hand. "But I'd like you to do it another way. I want you to begin softly and tenderly, the way it says in the song, almost as if you were singing a baby to sleep. Then, when you feel you want to give it more volume, you can do that. When you sing, a song should have highs and lows. That makes it more meaningful." "How will I know when to change?" "Watch my hand." I started the song almost in a whisper. "Softly and tenderly, Jesus is calling, calling for you and for me." Sister Evans raised one hand as if she were lifting something in her palm, and I sang the next line a little louder. "See on the portals, he's waiting and watching, waiting for you and for me."